I am BT from PMLBSports.com. Today I want to talk about a few topics: NFL, college basketball, a little soccer thrown in there for the soccer enthusiasts. I want to start off with the biggest news of the week. Peyton Manning goes to Denver on a 5-year, $96 million contract, far greater than what I thought it would be. He's scheduled to earn $18 million over the first year, and once he checks out each offseason, he'll earn $20 million for the rest of the contract. I did not see Denver as a realistic possibility. Like I said before in the show, I thought it was going to be Miami or Arizona, someplace with a good climate. Turns out the offensive line of the Denver Broncos, which gave up the second fewest sacks last year, ended up really enticing Manning. And I expect him to bring in Jeff Saturday and Dallas Clark and a few of the other guys that he played with in Indy with him to Denver. I think it's the biggest signing in the last decade for any sports franchise. The biggest free agent was Peyton Manning. Got picked up with Denver. 5 years. I don't know if he's going to be able to play 5 years. Is he going to pull a Favre, retire, then come back? But either way, Peyton Manning ended up in Denver. And a casualty of Peyton Manning going to Denver was Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow was traded from the Broncos to the Jets for, I believe, a 4th and a 7th round pick. And he will back up Mark the Sanchez in the troublesome locker room that is the New York Jets. I mean, in the offseason, they've had LaTainian Tomlinson come out and say this is the worst locker room I've ever been in. The 4th-string quarterback rookie out of Alabama, Greg McElroy, said, "Where's the veteran leadership in this locker room when we needed it?" So he gets to come into the awesome locker room that is the head case of Mark Sanchez, the head case of Santonio Holmes, and the big, giant head case of Rex Ryan. But during an interview, Tebow said he loved Rex Ryan's personality during the Hard Knock series a few years ago, and that is what ultimately swayed him from the Jaguars, where he went to high school at Nice High School, to the Jets, where he will back up Mark Sanchez. And hopefully, in my opinion, I hope he gets a chance to start. I think Tebow is going to be a good starter in this league, possibly great, better than Mark Sanchez. I don't like Mark Sanchez. Haven't been a fan since the Jets traded up to get him a few years ago. You know, even Pete Carroll said he wasn't ready to come out of college, and I think Pete Carroll is right. And Sanchez, I don't think, will have a good of career as Tebow once it's all said and done. And I want to continue on the NFL. I want to talk about the Bountygate punishments being handed down. The Saints got hammered unmercifully by Roger Goodell and the NFL, and just tore up. The head coach, Sean Payton, was suspended for an entire year without pay, so he loses $7 to $8 million of pay for a year. Greg Williams is suspended indefinitely, which I could definitely see him being gone forever. This is one of those Pete Rose situations where, because he caused so much hurt with not only Brett Favre, but they were told by the NFL to quit doing this, and they said, okay, we'll stop, or we didn't even do this, I don't know what you're talking about. And then they kept on doing it. And Roger Goodell says that's what caused this harsh penalty. Is we told them to stop, they denied any wrongdoing, and now they got hammered for it. And the GM, Mickey Loomis, he got suspended for 8 games and I believe over $100,000. The Saints were fined $500,000, and they lose their second-round pick this year and their second-round pick next year. And I believe it is absolutely justified. The only thing I don't really like, I don't like Sean Payton going out for the year. I wish they could have made it, 13, 14 games. Because the Super Bowl is being held in New Orleans this year, I think they do have a realistic shot of making it before Payton went down. I don't think, since the head coach Sean Payton will be out this year, I don't think that they will have the chance to play in the Super Bowl this year. But I do. I like the penalty. It's great. Now I want to go into March Madness. It's been absolutely crazy. From Norfolk State taking down Missouri to Lehigh taking down Duke. Ohio beating everybody, making it to the Sweet 16. It's like the first time a less than 13 seed has made it to the Sweet 16 ever. I like the teams I like going forward. I like Kentucky. I don't like Syracuse as much. They've seemed to struggle a lot. And I love Florida. Florida has beat their 2 opponents, Virginia and my team, at Norfolk State by combined 50 points. Just absolutely demolished all competition. They're hitting a stride at the right time, and I can see Florida making a huge run all the way to the Final Four. All they got to do is take care of Marquette this coming weekend. But Kentucky, it's like playing men against boys. There's no competition out there. Kentucky is the greatest team in the NCAA by far. That's who I picked to win my NCAA tournament bracket, which I threw away last week after Duke went down and Missouri went down. Chucked it, threw it away. But I like Kentucky to finish and just take it all. I do want to give out props to Kendall Marshall, though. Had surgery last Sunday for a broken wrist. Got the cast off a few days later, and there's a very good chance that he will play one of these upcoming games. I hope he doesn't play against Ohio. They don't need him. But after they beat Ohio, I would like to see him come in, finish the tournament. And with this performance, if he comes back and plays with a broken wrist, he will join the UNC greats of all time, of Worthy, of Jordan. I would love to see it. Hope he does. Hope he comes back. Now I want to go into BT's Blitz package. I want to start off by talking about Lionel Messi. Dude is a monster in the European leagues. He scored 5 goals in one game last week, and then a few days ago he scored 3 goals. So it's 8 goals in 2 games. Unheard of. In his career, he has over 250 goals. Great guy, great scorer, small Argentinian, very good player. Way to go, Messi. Now I want to talk about A.J. Smith of the San Diego Chargers. I'm not a Chargers fan, but I'm based out of San Diego. And when I saw the offseason starting, I was like, A.J. Smith has to do something. He can't come in and do the same old crap that he's been doing of, just putting these little pieces here and there. We'll sign Travis LeBoy and hope he fits in with this linebacking core, what we need. But it didn't work. And I'm not sure the way this offseason is going. My favorite signing of his is Eddie Royal, who finally solidifies the punt and kick returning positions since Darren Sproles got booted out a few years ago. I don't like A.J. Smith as the GM here. I think San Diego Chargers will not win as long as A.J. Smith is GM. I think this year, they go about 8-8, depending on how they do in the draft. I have them about 8-8 right now with everything they've done. They don't make the playoffs because Denver, with Peyton Manning, is just going to rock it. And unfortunately, A.J. Smith will get fired this year along with Norv Turner. At least that's what I hope happens. Because even though I'm not a San Diego fan, I still feel for the people that cry after each football season here in San Diego. Ain't that right, sir? All right, and my final one is the Royal Purple 300 that I will be at this upcoming weekend in Fontana. Me and my wife got tickets. We're going to go up there this weekend and get lubed up inside the tailgating area, drink, eat, and be merry. If you're up there, find me. We'll talk, see if I can get you on my show. Have a great week. I know our producer this week's going to Explode Fighting Company. What is it? Explode Fight Series in Valley View Casino. They'll be there. Hit them up, talk to them, maybe get on the show. Either way, I am BT, and that's all from BT Reports. Have a great day.